What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. For those of you tuning in on YouTube, remember our disclaimer. Remember that day trading, of course, is risky. Remember, I do not invest for my subscribers. Remember, copy trading does not work. It's best to take it slow, especially in the beginning if you're new. All right? Practice, improve, and then it makes more sense to put out a lot of risk. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the scans and a couple of the hotter stocks that are moving right now. SGN, of course, one of the hotter ones here today. I know last week I promised to be here for pre-market, and I don't want to sound like I'm having excuses, but today is finally the last day that I have things to do in the morning, right? So we're cleared at long last. We're cleared, and we do have some hotkeys going, which is good. So tomorrow I'll be able to trade, like sit down actually for this full session, right? I could talk about what I was doing these last 2 days, but we'll kind of just leave it as that. Leave it at that. So yeah, there's SGN, which is currently leading the way, actually up 200%. There's also SPRO, which came a little earlier. SGBX. SGBX. Yeah, SGBX did pull back a little bit. ASBP. And I think there was one other one. ASBP, how well are we doing? It's a little cheaper, but it does look decent, up 68%. And I think there might have been one more. So here's a breakout here for SGN, going up some more. I think it was BROG. Although this one was more so of an after hours move. Holy shit, it's actually flying. Break of four, probably coming. Was it a false breakout at first? That was pretty decent. No, not quite. It looks good. Man, what a move. Taking off like a missile. There's the list. I got a couple of the basic hotkeys, a couple of marketable limit orders, and I think I'm gonna also add I think halves, like selling in halves. I think that could work for scaling out of some trades. Okay, okay, okay. Nice, 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 nice move. We had 444 break up the pre-market high right there, and break to the upside of the channel. 60 to a low 54, and then continuation. That looks like it was a clean trade. That looks like it was a clean opportunity there for the trade. So we're seeing the first pullback now. My default hotkey is literally set to 10 shares. It's how small my size will be for about a week. Maybe a couple days. Maybe a couple days. The low there was 70s. Bit of a 30-cent pullback off the high. Let's see how well it holds up for the retest. Willing to re-average if I need to. It's 9:15, by the way. We got 15 minutes before the open officially. 15 minutes. I wouldn't want to. I mean, adding wouldn't be a bad thing here either, but I wouldn't want to be super aggressive towards the ad. Oh, what is that? Come on. We're seeing a little bit of a churn. Trying it again. Same stop, tight stop. The high of that last candle was 85, though. We want to see right through 85. It does feel like there's some lag here, too. '79, '74, '79. The reclaim of 70 here, a little slow, but it is going to reclaim. New lows there. We had 65 or so. There, let's see. There's about 2 minutes in the 5 minute candle. Ideally here, we want to see like the 1 minute pullback hold up, of course. If we pull back to 40 or 50, get more of that bigger 5 minute pullback washout. Could still hold up into the open, but would be an early pullback for the 1 minute, a big pullback for the 1 minute consolidation. So I'm gonna jump back in with a tight stop again here and see if it's able to retest 85. Over 85, we could see 4. Tight stop, just about 6-7 cents. So buying closer towards where we're holding up and keeping it tight. But you gotta always be careful of like a flush out. So right there it held, and let's see if it's able to get over 85. People might be adding here. We'll see if it's able to push through. Can we push through? There's good buying, but we're not really pushing up. We're gonna give it a couple more seconds here. Can we see over 80, 85? There's 81. And it's not quite. Yeah. Not quite right there. It's only a couple cents on that one. And this is, of course, as usual, moving a little quick. Okay, let me just get a couple of trend lines and actually put up my screen recording. Let's just get those basic things out of the way. Being that we are doing some slight trading. Just so once we get to the open, we're good to go. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, for the audience on YouTube, every day we get like 500-600 people and only 120 likes. Now, shout out to the MVPs who've been liking the video every day. Those 120 people. Big shout out to those people. But the rest of the followers, the rest of the subscribers, we're getting cooked here with the viewership to like ratio. We're getting absolutely cooked. What is Ross at today? I'm not sure. I can ask in the chat here. A couple of people will know. Tim saying he lost 600 on the previous false breakout. Lucas. Yeah, I mean, the number one thing with making money if you're connecting is going to be the size, right? Just looking at some of the conversations in the chat, the difference between $100, $1,000, 5,000, 10,000, you got to be willing to put out the size. And a stock like what we had yesterday, the expensive one, if you're in a good rhythm and you're capturing those moves and you put out size, you'll see the results in your P&L afterwards. Now, of course, the risk is on the other side, right? If you're to have losses, then it's going to also be impactful and show. Okay. Yeah. Trend. Let me just get a couple of trend lines here. So we got 403 pre-market highs. My screen recording is turned on. Low of that pullback was 61. Previous highs were 44. Did come down a little bit. It looks good though. It looks pretty healthy. It looks like we could potentially see a new high into the open earlier than later, sooner than later. Going back to January 29th, we had a massive day going from 211 to 724, and we had 97 million shares of volume. Definitely going to map out 724 here as a potential target. If this thing happens to go, beyond 692 to 200 EMA on the daily chart. Other than that, we are over all the prior levels. Stock looks decent. Looks good. Looks healthy. Looks like the one. We're all searching for the one, right? Looks like it could be the one. Maybe have already been the one here in pre-market for a few traders. Tomorrow, when I come tomorrow, the moment a stock is good and we're seeing like consecutive green candles on the 10-second chart, I'm jumping in. I'm just jumping in with a stop. This one, we had a couple of red candles early compared to the one yesterday that went up to $30, but still a clean front side after the news headline is gonna hit. Still fairly clean here. Clean pullbacks. And it looks like you have to trade the 10-second chart. And you have to really be active with level 2, because the 1-minute chart, by the time you wait for a pullback here, bro, it's like it's too late. This thing is like in the moon already. All right, let's see. There's also SGBX that I can get a quick couple of levels on here. Clear the drawing set. SGBX up 126%. We had 46 for pre-market highs, 346. We're all the way down at 120s. Quite the drop off here for this one. 200 EMA, 145. We're back below that level. And we did have a couple of daily candles that sold off going back to January, 192 highs, as well as 164 in November of last year. So some overhead resistance here potentially. Candles that gapped up and flushed down. Yeah, this one might be a little bit more tough here early, SGBX. So on to the penny, ASBP, which is up 69%. Did pull back off the highs. 60 for high of day, pre-market highs. Bit of a double, triple top there, 56. And we have VWAP above us at 44. It would be nice to see it get above the VWAP and hold and continue. Yesterday we had the flat top on the more expensive stock. I'm forgetting the ticker symbol again, but we saw that after it finally got over that resistance, I think it was 35. We got caught in a couple trades trying to get the breakout, thinking it would be a little bit more aggressive initially. But in hindsight, sometimes you just got to be a little bit more patient, right? Give the stock a chance sometimes to let 2 candles close, 3 candles close, and not just assume that that breakout would always come right away, right? Especially after the monster move pre-market, right? I think it's fair to say we could see something a little bit more gradual when we're coming out of a consolidation after such a monster move. So today, that's going to be the key, right? Being a little bit more patient for something to hold above a key level before we try to get really aggressive. I think that was like the number one thing yesterday. Whilst we did keep the size small, we still got caught in like a $5 or maybe like a $3, $4 share drop, something crazy. So we got to be careful of trading the stock too early before it gets through the resistance properly. So BROG, LITM sold off. That one popped up and then went back down. SGN. We're coming down a little bit here. SPRO from earlier. We can't forget about this one. SPRO up 200%. Let me make sure to pull this one up over here. SPRO. Time, 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Pre-market highs are 293. And we've pulled back. We're holding up. It's holding up fairly well. Still holding up above 2, which is good. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. There's the 2-minute warning. All right, so it's another beautiful day. We're here, we're on time. The options across the board are looking very good. I think, as mentioned, we have to be very patient towards waiting for the better opportunities. And when we see them and the stars are aligning for the setups, the risk is tight, the potential to the upside is great or greater, as we prefer 2-to-1, of course, at minimum, right? That's where we have to wait for our chance to strike and take the opportunity. So with a minute to go, it's another beautiful day. So far, trader rehab, I'd say it's been good so far. We've had 3 green days. Yesterday, our first red day in trader rehab, although I still say a pretty good day overall. So looking forward to the action here. Also, let's be quick. Let's be active. Let's be decisive with our decision making, and let's follow our rules, right? That way we can guarantee a successful day by following our rules. SGN, I'll keep an eye on this one into the open. I do have SPRO and ASBP as well on the other 2 charts. 20 seconds. Actually, let me grab my hat here. Only a matter of time before my eyes start to get affected by the ceiling light. The low of this range has been 14 and highs around 25. So there's a push through for 25 right there. It's a good push through, actually. 74 is the halt up if it goes all the way up. Watching the first pullback, taking the 10 cents. Small sellers there got bought up low 40s. Bit of a tough fill there. Break of 50 again. Will we see it? 52. Break of 50, not bad. We did get filled a little higher for a micro there, so we're out early, but see how it does here. There's a massive seller, low 70s. It is moving quick, hard to get the fills that I want. Even there just now, let's see if that seller's still around. That was about 85,000 at 73 or so. Let me pull up. Okay, looks good. Oh, come on. We're gonna see a big flush out there. Half dollar not holding up super well. Watch out for the Christmas tree here. Not what we want to see. Might have been a bigger seller there, perhaps. Selling into the weakness. We got SPRO on the other hand halting up. SPRO halting up. Looks like it'll get locked in. There's some pretty big bids. Typically, you'll see people take the profits into strength going up. Someone perhaps selling there a little lower, but all depends on perspective, right? Could be somebody that's in since yesterday or before taking profits there. In which case they're in maybe at like 20 cents, right? Anything here is good gains, plus or minus. SPRO, we'll see. ASBP also holding up, curling up too. How's the volume? It looks decent. Highs, we had 47 cents, 47.8. Waiting for the resumption on SPRO. SGN not halted down, but pulling back, and then ASBP. Although the volume seems light for some reason. I mean, we got 2 million shares, 4 million shares the last couple candles. The volume here definitely lower ASBP so far into the new candle. Resumption is 2 minutes 50 seconds. ASBP, I'm keeping an eye, watching to see if it does pull back. We'll see if it's able to push through 48 in the next minute or so. $43. It's coming down a bit. VWAP 42, 41. Halt a minute 30 seconds. What's hitting the scans? We got a minute and 7 seconds to the resumption. Yeah, I'd suspect room to 250 potentially, and then we got to watch out. But over 230 in itself will be interesting. 40 seconds. So ideally, I'd like to see it go a little higher. Then, of course, the dip and rip. But you got to watch out for it opening up lower. It's showing 230, so it's showing somewhat sideways, a couple cents higher. Can we see a beautiful dip and rip? I didn't get to see the bid in the ass, so I don't know how liquid this one is. But I think, of course, it's cheap. It'll be pretty liquid. Hopefully not thickly traded, though. Let's see, 2 seconds. I'm going to give it time. Not as volatile as I would have expected in terms of the range. So I'm going to wait, give it time. Can we see a false halt down? No, it looks like it's going to get locked in at 16. That was miserable. That was terrible. Again, I didn't get to see the price action before, so it's hard to know if this one is going to be good. That was awful. That was bad. Switching. Let's see. Let's rotate. Full rotation. Let me double check the scans. What was that? ASBP sold off a bit. Didn't hold up the dip. BROG, nothing there yet. LITM sold off pre-market. SGBX. SGBX, we'll see over time. SGN. And SPRO halted down. All right, I'll sit on the sidelines and wait. SGN, where does the red to green look good? Perhaps over 320s, we could start to see something. But not seeing any setups that I really like. So SGBX, we'll see how this one does here. Actually, it's close to the halt level. 41 to halt up for SGBX. Three three tight stops. 3-3. See, there's green printing. Okay, I'm not like, why is it so delayed? Some of these stocks are moving so strange. I mean, there's always hidden sellers, I suppose, but for the type of buying hitting there, you'd expect a quick push. There's not a lot of sellers sitting on the ask. 44 to halt up. VWAP is at 53. SGN, let's see how it does here around the 20s area. SGBX at 40. SGBX seeming like a grinder here so far, though. I am interested in the pullback if we can hold up, tight stops. 45 to 200 EMA. We got 48 for the halt up. 37. Okay, SGN also, again here, 20s big level. Oh my god, bro. Why can't these stocks hold up? It's gonna Titanic. How about SGBX? I took 20, I'm out at 08 right there. The dips are in the depths. And I'm missing the dip on SGBX. Nice dip there for SGBX. Held up 30s. Back up 10 cents. Nice push. It's probably going to be a higher low. The volatility there. I was aiming for lower, but we're kind of back up in the moment I'm trying to buy. Waiting. Time. What time? 45. We're seeing some selling. 25. It might haul down. 22. Watching for the false halt, but there's big sellers, so it might stay down. SGN is back up to 40. Will it hold up this time, though, is the key. Jeez Louise. It's definitely volatile, all right. Seller, okay, looks like we might push through here. Okay, all right. $84 is the high. Trying 36 at the previous support. And it's a decent red to green. It's a good size pullback here, though. We got 70 down to 20 for the dip. 70 to 20, which is quite brutal. It's battling back though. It's fighting here. Let me pull this one up over SGN on the 10-second. Yeah, it's fighting back up. I want to see the quick pops. Doing a rotation here, just checking the other ones quickly to see if anything else is moving. I know SGBX sold off there again after a push. SPRO is halted up. SPRO halted up at 30 seconds, but it's below the VWAP. I'm gonna reduce my base size to 1,000 from 1,500. This one is giving me vibes from the stock we had yesterday. It looks like we can see a nice continuation push to like $4 or $5, $6. But it's gonna take time. We got a bit of a cup, a bit of a handle here. It's gonna take time to just do its thing, and maybe even pull back to the VWAP again, slowly but surely. Just waiting patiently. I'm sticking to smaller size until it breaks and continues over highs. But definitely want to be watching at it closely, so we are already in a good rhythm. Well, once it decides it's ready, but it looks decent. It's fighting, it's battling. Low 40, high of 75 on that last push. There's 68, 70. It could go soon. It's possible. It might just jump up that 10 cents. Oh, it's gonna false breakout. Ah, these stocks, man. Like, come on. What is this? From 90 to 80 to then 45, 48. So again, perhaps just, trying to get that move through the highs, not worth it. Just gotta wait, not even touch it, let it close a couple of candles above $4 before even getting involved here. Bro, those trades are textbook, man. Like the ones, like we already have the intuition that the stock can go right there, and then slap in the face. My gosh. Ah, day trading is kicking my butt here this year. Bro, in a normal hot market right there, we go to 90 like we just did. We hold up the 80 to 70 range. We retest the high of 90. Right now we're at like 540, 530. Now the stock didn't fail all the way like back to the lows, so it'll try again. It will try again here is my guess. So but this time I'm just gonna wait. It's the second time the charm. Big Steve, we gotta wait at least 30 minutes for the what's gonna happen if we leave now? Not speaking out of FOMO, right? If we leave right now, when this thing does go to 5, 6, 7, we're not gonna be here. So we gotta keep it as tight as possible, sit on our hands, and finally wait for the nice move that's coming. Alright, here we go again. It's the second time the charm. I'm gonna wait till it goes over 4 and holds above 4. With at least a candle or two to close. Typically, when we don't sell off all the way, we can see the retest, but it's never guaranteed, right? Which is why I'm not just buying down here and holding and praying and seeing. All right, it looks like finally. Hold on, let's see if it holds up here. Finally. This is where we can see a proper uptrend. It's damn stocks, man. In this range, I want to take every single every entry I'm taking here. so slow right there. I moved like a slot. That is not okay. It looks like I'll be done here. Oh man, I was willing to hold that through mid 70s, probably even add low 70s. Fuck's sakes, man. And I'm at a max loss on a freaking small size day. Big Steve, I was wrong about waiting for after 4, bro. Terribly wrong. Waiting for after 4 was not the move. Oh my gosh. I trusted that way too much because I could have stopped out right away. 80 we had resistance at 80. Well, 80 was our previous high, and mid 70s we came up there a couple times, like 69, 70. So I didn't mind seeing mid 70s, low 70s, maybe for an ad down there, have my average be like 77, 76. Even if we see a mid 60s, okay, and then the retest of 4. But bro, man, these stocks are just brutal. Brutalization. Brutalization. Tomorrow pre-market should be interesting on the smaller size. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll see how it is. You know, of course, typically volume is coming in around the half hour and hour marks. Unbelievable with that drop, man. But yeah, good day. You know, we followed our rules, but we got cooked in the blender. Blended. Discombobulated. Now forced to wait till tomorrow with a max loss. Man, what a year this has been. This year I thought for sure I was gonna make like 700,000. Like guaranteed. I was like, yep, here we go. Sweet 700K. And now it's this disaster of a year. Granted, there's still like 6 months. I mean, you know, if things are to be a little bit better momentum wise. But insane. Complete rejection. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. It's almost like this momentum was made to counter me, bro. But, but, there's a but. We will make the adjustments. Free market right now is looking like it's the move, but slow and steady first, as I've been saying. We had Monday off, Tuesday, Wednesday. As I'm out of breath here, Tuesday, Wednesday, I I had stuff to do in the morning in the AM, so it kind of threw off the pre-market session. But tomorrow and the rest of the week, month, year, we will be locked in. We will be locked in. So for those of you watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. And this is a 5-year, 6-year trader here getting destroyed. For those of you who are new to the markets, new to the channel, despite all the experience, we're getting cooked. I'm out of breath just going downstairs, coming back up. This is not good. Ay, ay, ay. The open is in the depths, bro. But this is a nice looking setup here. Failing so hard. I mean, this is ridiculous, the dropout. First rejection, second rejection. Ay, ay, ay. So of course, as natural as you go through a drawdown or a tougher period, people will start to say anything from speculation, which is cool, which is fine. But just keep that same energy when we're back with our nice green days. Okay. All right. Just keep this same energy for anybody that's saying all sorts of nonsense here. And the next thing too is that, not everybody streams, so nobody else sees when someone else is going through a drawdown or a red patch, because of course they're not streaming every day for the world to see. Our last drawdown / sideways period that lasted like 5 months. Yeah, that's how long we've been here, right? That was like in 2021, from October to February, or October to March. I think February. Like 5 months. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm that out of breath from just going down some flights of stairs. Without my swing trades, I'd have been in the depths completely. But my swing trading account is propped up nicely here. But I'm still red though, day trading wise. And break of 4, complete dismantle. The bounce, of course, at the resumption, there's something there. As we dropped off so aggressive, so quick, there's a bit of a curl. From 95 back to 35 to 40. 95 to 40. So right now I'm on the sidelines, just taking it easy. I'll hang out for like a good 20 minutes and then I'll shut it down officially. I'll change my stream to the other screen here. Big Steve, red like 1200, bro, on that flush. I got murdered. Red 1200 on the day. gosh. Ay, ay, ay. I have been taking less trades overall, but part of that's because this momentum is, like a lot. So earlier I was mentioning there was an area where there's buying, 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 and there's just not that many sellers there. So ideally, normally, we'd see a quicker reaction, and I mean, like there's like good size buying going through, so it throws off the hyper scalps in some of those areas because time is a part of the equation, right? We're expecting the move to be very quick based off of the volume that's coming in and the sellers that are showing. Again, there can be hidden sellers, but when that wave of buying is coming in and the move is so slow to take place, it kind of throws off your timing a little bit. So then you can end up selling a trade early where you should have held a little longer. The fill got us in one of those entries. I mean, it was a couple cents, right? I mean, those are things that I have to do a better job of mentally. Buying it like 40, but I mean, the moment I buy, freaking thing jumps to 47. That 7 cent difference makes an impact on how I want to treat and risk in that trade. So where it's a more because in that range we're bouncing from like 40 to 49 back down to 40. So it's never guaranteed. The breakout is only going to happen once, and we can bounce in the range 7 times. So I'm like, okay, I'll just cut it for just a 2 cent gain, flat trade, whatever. Of course, that's the time the freaking thing goes, and it's like, come on, like that went from 48, or let's say break of 50 to 75. And it's like tough trade, tough trade. AGAE, a little lighter volume, but it is hitting. I gotta take a vacation to Lake Laogai. Come back set, come back proper. This nonsense of momentum, man. Yesterday, although I do like yesterday was a good day. We had a strong move. The volume is not that high though for AGAE. It's pretty slow volume. Ay ay ay. Geo, what's up? In the chat room, Geo went green to red. Looks like some damage control there from Geo. Looks like Jackson also had a bit of a tough time. Hopefully the mighty is holding it down here. Tim, I haven't seen much from Tim yet. Well, okay. Jackson Lucas saying from 3K to 0. Tim saying went red now. So some of the guys are battling back, battling back. Some of the guys are battling back. Hollis had some decent trades, it looks like. 64 to 87, not bad at all. Do we have any pennies moving? Mighty up 10K. The Mighty holding it down, doing mighty things. I gotta ask him if he traded any pre-market as well. All right, okay, let's see. I think this might be an early day here. Let me know if there's any questions on the YouTube side, and then we'll shut it down. AGAE with lighter volume here, pushing up some more. Bro, I'm in an absolute blender right now. Yesterday went red 1200 with 150 shares, which is just stupid. Honestly, it doesn't even make sense. Granted, we got caught in a flush out, but still. And then now today with 1,000 shares, 1,500 shares max. We sized back up over 4 to 1,500, but 1,500 was our max size though. We didn't go over 1,500, and we got murdered in that flush. 500, 1,000, and 1,500 size. So over 4 in the uptrend, I was looking to take every micro, every baby pullback. Any hold at 4. There was one trade below 4, which I was like super slow to get in on. Also, I gotta check to see uh what am I gonna eat today? That's the first question I'm seeing here. Um, I already had breakfast. I had a pastry. I actually had a pastry, something called mince swirl. It's also known as a pinwheel if you're to look that up. It's like ground beef and bread in like a circle with some sauce or something. I don't even know how it's made really. But ground beef and bread. PLRC out of the resumption. Marcelo did message me yesterday, and or like he's coming for a 20K day or something like that. No. He didn't say that. He said he's gonna come to destroy the day, and I was like, yeah, bro, you can hit a 20K day. So he's halfway there if he's gonna be able to pull it off. PLRZ is looking interesting. It's halting up again. I can trade it in my E-Trade account. The private chef. No, no, no. We're no longer at the team house, bro. Team house is concluded. Team house is now concluded. The private chef, if you're ever able to do it though, I'd recommend it for anybody going on a vacation or a trip, business trip, work trip, vacation, anything. All inclusives are always nice. But if you're able to ever do the private chef, it was quite the experience. That was quite the experience. Yeah, for people who think they can come right away and do well, you got to be careful. It's all about going small first. Utilize small share size, utilize simulators, practice, improve, and then you can expose yourself to more risk. You can put out more size. A lot of us, of course, just having that natural confidence, will think that we can start something new and be very, very good right away. But there's usually a learning curve in most fields, most sectors, most careers, jobs. Trading is similar. There's always a learning curve. So, we've heard from like a couple of people who've been able to turn the corner in like just 3, 4 months. But typically, it takes like a year plus, sometimes 2 years, 3 years, four for some people as well. In terms of like consistently hitting good gains in the market. So keep that in mind if you're brand new. If you come in big size right away, you could have trouble. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to PLRZ resumption. Mentally, I do feel fine. I could keep trading. I could keep trading and go the distance. Kind of set like a new max loss, and then try to manage from there, damage control, etc. This market, I tell you. Let's see. Uh, what it is. I think I don't know if I would say people disrespect the day trading world. I just think it's how it's presented, right? Typically, you'll need a license to trade, but now anybody can trade. Like that's why they had brokers, right? Like actual stockbrokers on the exchange, like people. But nowadays, you can download an app like Robinhood or whatever, E-Trade, Ameritrade, Schwab, and then now you're granted a license to buy and sell stocks as if you're a trained professional. So because it's so easy to download Robinhood or whatever app, it's like everybody is somewhat their own investor in a sense. So I think the way how it's like easy to access and how presentable, probably not the best word. Let's just say accessibility. I think that's how people can fall victim to coming in with size right away, especially if they hear like a success story or two, or if they had like a lucky winning trade to start, and then they go like even more heavy, things like that. There's not enough disclaimers, I think, of how risky it could be for the average person that's like now starting, especially when if they're seeing someone flexing like a crazy Lambo lifestyle. 45 seconds to this resumption. Um, order entry, PLRZ, PLRZ, 1,000 shares in my E-Trade account. This is actually my swing account. 17 seconds, 15 seconds. We're at 29. It's showing 33 resumption. 5 seconds, 5 seconds. 3, 2. No immediate push. The halt down is at 20. 12 rather. 12. It seems a little thick. Might open up eventually, but it seems a little thick. I used to use E-Trade back. It's gonna halt down. I used to use E-Trade back in the days, and literally just use the sell button, the buy button. Kind of. Some people like the hot buttons. These are just regular buy and sell market, but oh man. Any advice for someone going who was green in the sim and will go live next month? Yes. So in our community, we like to see at least 3 months of consistent trading in the sim. That way, it's not just like, let's say, I wouldn't say luck, but more because, you can't really get lucky every day for like a month straight, I would say. Right? You get lucky on a day or on a trade. But it's good to get a little bit more time under your belt, get that full 3 months in and get to experience also some different markets because things will shift. Sometimes breakouts are better, pullbacks are better, things like that. But from there, of course, make sure that when you do go live, that you treat the trades the same way. I think that's the biggest obstacle for a lot of people is that coming into a live account, they can they can have the money side of things affect their thought process throughout similar trades, and so that can lead to hesitation or just mismanagement of certain trades. So you got to treat it the same way, have your stop be the same stops and respect those stops, your profit targets being the same profit targets, etc. When it comes to size, um, sizing up gradually is sometimes a good way to go. Although you can make leaps with size, if you're really connecting, you're having that confidence, your metrics is backing you up, you're studying and you're seeing clean opportunities. You can be that can definitely encourage you to size up a little bit more aggressively. Um, but yeah, I think that's the biggest obstacle that I see is people having the mental block just because of the money thing. But it's why we say process over profits because the process of how you're executing the trade should be the same whether you're in a real account or not. You should still aim for 2 to 1. You should still have your risk. You should still have your target. Not because it's real money, you'll say I'm gonna just not sell the position and hope for it to come back up, right? Or let's say on the contrary, because it's real money, I'm not gonna cut this loss. I'm gonna just hold it and wait, hold and pray. It means you're not following the process properly, right? Of what the trade execution and the trade idea should be. That's the biggest thing I see. But other than that, it's the same thing really, especially if your hotkeys are the same and your buttons and your layout is the same. It'll be the same thing. PLRC halted down. It's not a bad pullback here, after such an extended move up. It did go from 84, 83, 82 cents. Hold on, I'll be back in a sec here. Time 1:15. Let me check the damage here actually. Rough. $112, not bad. ARAI halted down. Time for some new scanners, Big Steve. ASBP. Time for some new scanners, bro. It's a false halt up. And was this from the watch list? I think it was. $10 of solid action, not hitting the scans. $10, man. Oh shit, man, my bad. SPRO. I was calling out SPRO over the VWAP there. The halt resumption should be good, being that it's closing above the level. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be locked in. I also said that tomorrow I'm gonna be locked in, man. I'm gonna be ready to go. I'll be good to go tomorrow. 3 minutes 11 seconds to SPRO. The PLRZ resumptions. It looks healthy again. Might need to go a little lower first, though. Still a little lower. Over over 112 was definitely a good setup. For the 1 minute candle to make a new high on that initial halt down, but in that moment, it was kind of hey, that's the day. I don't really love to do this, but again, mentally I feel fine, right? In terms of like keeping it going after hitting a max loss, like mentally I feel fine. So I'm not like compromised to like emotional or anything, but typically I don't love to do it. Um, you can get yourself in more trouble. You can either make more, you can make money, or you can lose more, right? For me, I find that is rare that I kind of just stay sideways. And historically we've been so profitable that it's like, just keep trading, bro. That's that's kind of, but you still have to be careful. You still have to have like a line in the sand that you don't want to cross if you're going to approach it in that manner. If you're new, I would recommend not doing it if you don't have the discipline, because you could end up getting emotionally fueled. If you're new, it's best to have a max loss at a hard number, and then that's it, right? Twice your average green day, if you want to say, worst case it takes you 2 days to make it back, right? Or 1.5, even if you want it a little bit more tight. Resumption is coming up. in 3 seconds. SPRO. No immediate bounce. I'll try again there. But we want to see at least 25 here. So again, this one is kind of not looking so great. So over VWAP, a better looking setup for a red to green to the new high to previous highs over 35, but the stock is still kind of clunky. So PLRZ, which is a couple seconds, I believe, less than a minute. You gotta show up on the front side. Like so for me, it's like ASBP is not hitting the scan, so I'm pulling it up super late. It's like, bro, you gotta not trade that backside, man. It's the worst thing ever to miss the full move going up and then coming to that nonsense. The stock already did its job. If we're not present, then there's nothing left. Gotta not overdo it, or you can get destroyed here coming down. This is awful. The backside there. There it is. Let's see if it dips a little bit more. PLRZ. It's actually a quick bounce back up. 34 was the lows. I'm gonna wait for break and hold at 50. How's the dip? A lot of selling. A lot of selling. 29 is the halt down, which is 2 cents away. And halting down now. 27 halt down now. Looks like it'll get locked in. Lots of big sellers. Looks like it'll get locked in. Tomorrow I'll be ready. Tomorrow I will be ready to go. It'll be time to clock in and load up. It'll be winning time. Tomorrow it will be moon. Tomorrow we take new heights. We fly high. There's gonna be a lot of winning. Gotta manifest it. Manifest the greatness. And be ready. And be ready. There's 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Wow, I didn't even notice that. That's insane. We got 2 minutes, 14 seconds. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Don't forget if you're watching on YouTube to hit that thumbs up. Yeah, that's the Trump meme. Getting tired of winning. I think a couple of people was laughing yesterday in terms of me ending the stream talking about the earnings call, which I think is today, the 28th, Wednesday. It's today Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. We got a minute 24. I don't know why. So I had a short on the SPY at the like mid 90s, looking for mid 70s. I did well on the short, but I covered early, thinking that Wednesday last week was the earnings, and I didn't want to be short because I thought the earnings would pull up the market. It might not, but that's my opinion. I suspect they will beat. They'll probably be beating for the next year straight, but we'll see how it goes after that. Honestly, SPRO, man, I don't know. I got it on this other screen, but it's been choppy for me. Nice push to 45. So 25 seconds to PLRC. This one, of course, I want to be careful of backside as well, in case the 5-minute pullback doesn't hold up. The halt down is at 27. Oh, excuse me, 18. 18. 27 the low of the pullback so far. 16 now to halt down. It looks like it'll get locked in. PLRC halting down. SPRO. Might be time to lock it in here officially. Officially. The Mighty held it down for the chat room. Looks like Tim had a hard time. Jackson. Lucas had mentioned earlier a bit of chop from 3K to flat. Momo Bro in the red. D-Trade said green to red. And then Alice, okay, Alice $500, Shay 600, nice. Oren, were you able to end green 1.2 or 1.4? Let's see. Gus, shout out to Gus. Gus, I gotta meet up with him one of these days. I know he's in Trenton. Shout out to him. Yeah, ASBP would have been a nice one. Let me check this settings here. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be out of here in a bit. Yeah, okay, so for those of you going the distance to, perhaps the close or and beyond, I'll be listening into the earnings call today, see how it goes. Big Steve, hope you had a good day, bro. Hope you had a good day. For everyone else in the stream, take care, stay safe, stay green. We got murdered on the flush out on SGN, and we incurred some bigger losses. Unbelievable, that one. That was break of 4 and the rejection. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green. I think tomorrow should be a good day, coming in early for pre-market to see what's really all about. Finally, and we'll see how it goes. Pre-market, we've been seeing some nice action in terms of consistent moves, consecutive green candles, and early pullbacks holding up before backside. So I think that'll be the key, is to trade the early front side move. I think the high of day scan can shine if we're seeing stocks hit early and sustain. That'll be pretty good. And of course, we still got to try to work on sub $1 for scans. It just seems like these days you could never get everything in one place. You know, even at Thinkorswim, we have to use DAS. Like everywhere you go, you kind of have to like just add something maybe to get everything. I don't know. But yeah, uh, to start 7 a.m. start time tomorrow, 7 a.m. Maybe a little earlier, because I'll be up at 6, and then, but I want to do all my morning routine stuff. I won't need a full hour, so I'll probably start like a little earlier. You have like the bathroom breaks and stuff like that. I'll shower at night. I usually like to shower at night anyways. I think showering at night is the best way. another shower in the morning could be good to really like wake you up if you need to, or whatever. But 6 a.m. Breakfast, and then honestly, I'll be ready to go. Right, just throw on my RT shirt, and then I'll be dressed. Right. It's one of the good things about working from home is that you don't necessarily need to suit and tie or any of that, right? Yeah. So 7 a.m. I'll be here. I'll start the live stream a little later, maybe 8:50. Um, that could be a good start time for the live stream, 8:50. Maybe 8. I mean, eventually I'll just start it when I start, but over time. But yeah, stay safe, stay green. It's my second. So here's something that I have to mention here as well. Right? It's my second day where I'm using smaller size and I get massive losses to put me down a significant amount. So over 4 today, and yesterday was break of 35, where and I didn't size up yesterday. I just got caught in a massive flush. But with 1,500 shares in it, 84, watching mid 70s to hold for a potential add, and you look back, the stock is at 340. It's kind of tough for that red to green trade. And typically I'm not trying to hold too long on pullbacks, but that particular trade, so reminiscent of what I'd like to trade on stronger moves. Previous support and previous resistance becoming support and us holding up. But we're seeing a lot, and that dropped down to 310. I mean, or 295 from about 420. Was it three? Yeah, about three. Yeah, let's just say $3, somewhere plus or minus a couple cents. I mean, that is very brutal for a stock that's you know struggled on the way up, beat the adversity of the resistance, and then just collapse. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green. SPRO perhaps might keep going later throughout the day. Tomorrow I'll be back for pre-market. Catch you guys next time.